Alright, so everybody should be familiar with the Dart, right? Today I'm going to introduce y'all to a new project. It's going to be a lot shorter term project than everything else because, well, the Dart is all consuming and has all the requirements of a beat up, over rotted old car. So it's still going to be here for a while and I can't get rid of it. So let me pop open the garage door and I'll show you this other thing. And then, you know, introduce you to it. It's not going to be around as long. It's going to be a few things. Going to kind of lay out my idea of what I'm going to do with it, and then try and do what I say I'm going to do with it and not hold on to it for, you know, ever. And someday maybe get to that one. That would be cool. This car is supposed to help pay for this car, but you know, best laid plans of mice and men and such. But let me get the garage door open and grab the keys to the other vehicle we're going to show you and introduce you. All right, do it again. Man, y'all fire coming out more decent. All right, so this will be my third run at buying a older D150 Dodge. Loading all this stuff up in the truck. Not that. That's not coming with me. That's body filler, but probably gonna load the jack as well. And then truck's about 90 miles away, so I'm gonna make a run at driving it back here. So hopefully all goes well, and my expectation is that it's going to be drivable. Just talking with the person that's selling it. Hopefully all works out and I get it back here safe. If not, I'm not going to take my trailer with me. So if not, we're going to be on the side of the road waiting for the trailer to get there. It won't be great. We prefer to dodge that whole bullet. But I think 90 miles is not that far, so hopefully it pans out.
Oh, look, there she goes, sweet as honeydew. You swear that you have seen her face like she's deja vu. She's the image of the fruit you cannot taste, forbidden and out of reach from another place. You don't know her name or how she got to here.
All right, so we bought this thing. It's an 85 model 318. It's got a 904 that I think is a lockup transmission without a lockup switch on it. Just stopped, checked the oil. Has multiple oil leaks. We put a whole 11 bucks in gas in it, and we're fixing to try and drive it 90 miles home. You know, it'll probably make that.
I'm just another patient who life ain't appreciated. I'm hospitalized on the bed overhearing their conversation. They want me to give up. They're saying I won't make it. I said I'll give up, but I'm still intoxicated. Hey, wait, I'm trying to go to the bright side, but the dark side keeps pulling me. Stay in the room. I think the doctor's using me. I know you're overthinking, can't deny it, just admit it, girl. Oh, I'm steady driving right around in this crazy world. Speeding, drinking, going up Mulholland Drive. I know you just just wanna be right by my side. I know it's hard for you to be alone this time. I just wanna make it through the night. I'm just another patient who life ain't appreciated. I'm hospitalized on the bed, overhearing their conversation. They want me to give up. They're saying I won't make it. I said I'll give up, but I'm still intoxicated. Hey, wait, I'm trying to go to the bright side, but the dark side keeps pulling me. Stay in the room. I think the doctor's using me. Hey, wait, I'm trying to go.
All right. Noise for audio. This is definitely the 6th time I've tried to make this little, not even in-depth, hard video to make. But between cameras and microphones, they have sabotaged me every time. So this is an introduction video to a new project, something other than this car. As you can see, we got stuff to do left on it, but hopefully it's going to be a break from the old Dart, and then someday we'll get to that one. But just kind of want to walk you around the truck, show you what the plan is, show you what it needs, and just show you, the condition it is in at the start, what it looks like at the start, so that when it's all said and done, we can see if I changed it enough to make it worth anything. But here we'll go and get started. So here we are. This is a 1985 Dodge D150 short wide. Really in really good shape for the age. Body wise is phenomenal. Have not found any rust in it that is worth mentioning. Bed is pretty phenomenal. I mean, really does not look like it was worked hard. No crazy dents. Has some old stock wheels. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad on the microphone. We'll find out. Let's go and kind of show you what we got to work on. All right, so it is a 318 two barrel, and it is very much going to stay that. Thought about putting a 4 barrel on it, but I don't really see the value in swapping a 4 barrel onto a 318 that's all stock, and what's it really going to do for it? Probably give it too much carburetor. All right, so as you can see, it's been Craigslist rebuilt in the wrong color, because this, you've got 2 different colors of blue here. You've got the corporate blue, and then you've got the older turquoise, which is a different color. Not that it really matters, it's just kind of something I noticed. It does run and drive. It's got a nice Chinesium HEI on it, which I'm not a huge fan of, but whatever. Clearly somebody did not like the factory electronic ignition, so they got rid of that. It's probably smog stuff or lean burn. I don't know. I think they got rid of lean burn pretty quick. It was a dealer ad AC, so this is not factory stuff. But a lot of these parts look new. No one has ever gone through and hooked up a clutch cycling switch, whether it's high or low pressure. This is how they engage the compressor, which means you turn it on and it stays on, which doesn't work for air conditioning. It has to be able to cycle, or else it's going to hit a pop-off valve somewhere, and I'm sure there's one in the system. not huge on this whole mess. Would much rather see real clamp fixtures on those, but you know, it's probably all going to leak out anyway. So there are some things that need to be addressed on it that are simple stuff. Back here, you can't really see it. Right underneath the vacuum advance, there's an oil line that runs for the oil pressure gauge inside the cab of the truck. Somebody got a little buck wild on the tightening process, and it is a copper line, but the ferrule is clearly leaking, so that's got to be cut off and the ferrule replaced. I originally thought it was a plastic line, so I got some copper to replace it with, but it is already copper, so no need to do all that. Just need to put new ferrule on it. Additionally, the same person tightened the ferrule to the gauge on the inside of the vehicle, so there was an oil leak onto the floor of the truck inside the truck. Get under here and show you. You notice it looks like, you know, transmission leaks at the front of the truck. That's because instead of running metal lines, we ran rubber hose from the radiator all the way to the transmission. In my experience, rubber lines leak. And you can see there's a drip forming right there, as a matter of fact. So I have ordered actual lines for this purpose. The oil pan doesn't look like it's, you know, great about not leaking. Somehow on the bottom of the fuel pump, there's transmission fluid. A little unsure, but maybe it's blowing off the transmission because that transmission has been leaking everywhere. You can even see it over there on the corner of the radiator. So, got to replace those lines, put real ones on it. The reason they use rubber is this truck was originally a 4-speed. Someone has put brake lines on it. Someone has put calipers on it, or at least one caliper. 2 brake lines, and that caliper also looks like it's been replaced. So it's had some work. Now, if we get under here, I was going to show the options, I guess, right here. You can see it was an A833 4-speed manual with the power steering and 8 1/4 rear diff. Nothing crazy. 354 gears, which are not great because it's not an overdrive. 3.7 liter 225 slant 6. So it was originally a leaning tower of power. Clearly, whoever decided to swap out the leaning tower of power also thought it'd be a great idea to cut the core support in half to get the new engine in. Not so much in half, in thirds, I guess, so that they could pull this out so they could put an engine in it. I'm probably going to address that because, you know, I guess it'd be all right. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like it. How about that? It's had a new hood latch put on it. It is not adjusted properly because when the hood's closed, the hood is like this far underneath the lip of the fenders. The bump stops on this. The bump stop on this side is totally worn out. The bump stop on this side is just not there. And at some point, we had a master craftsman install some hood pins in a old farm truck. As you can see, really the hood's decent, other than, oops, we got it wrong over here. It looks like the hood pins just didn't go through the holes they thought they were going to, or something. It's confusing. You can see the paint, and you can probably hear the paint. This truck is definitely an originally gray truck. However, at some point, it had to have been painted white. So you can kind of see a nice run in the paint there. And then it was painted gray again, so it's a little confusing. Nope, it's locked. So I forgot to drag the keys out with me. I will go grab those. These mirrors are nice. They're riveted onto the truck, so we'll be drilling those out, taking those off, and very likely filling those holes. I do have, this is the style of mirror I believe it had from the factory, unless it had sport mirrors, but I only see one hole, and I think even the sport mirrors need two to mount, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe whoever mounted this initially did something wrong. Who knows? Anyway, so let me go grab the keys. I'll show you inside the truck, and be right back. Anyhow, all right, so now we got keys. Let's get back to work here. All right, let's take a gander inside this cream puff. Alrighty, right here is both where the oil leak has been inside the truck from the oil pressure gauge that was over tightened, as well as close as rusting through as we'll find on this truck. Over here, we have an artifact of its former life. That's clutch pedal. Over here, some more master craftsmanship. Not sure, haven't traced it down, but you know, I mean, look at it. But let's look at the rest of it. Again, gray, right? Interior's gray. Floor's gray. Everything says this was a gray truck. But somehow white got involved. It is really good. I mean, if you're looking for a short wide body wise, it's solid. Interior is good. Someone took out the carpet, so I'm going to resolve that issue. I will go in and restart it here in a bit so you can hear the glory that is this exhaust. This is the old 4-speed hump that attached to the side of the transmission tunnel. Somebody cut it in half. Yeah, so that's good. So I'm going to make something. I want to make a metal version of it so I can move that shifter this way and maybe up a hair. If I put it at the same height as this, that would raise that shifter up maybe 2 inches. So I'll make a metal version, move the shifter, and then the center passenger could at least put their feet on one side. All right, you see the old 904 transmission under there. It's kind of leaky looking, but right there, yeah, that appears to be a lockup switch, which means it's a lockup 904. And, you know, there's nothing to control it. So maybe I'll put a switch in for it. I don't know. We've got the factory stereo. It doesn't come on. So our master craftsman, former owner, also got a hold of the doors and did a custom install on some door speakers. As you can see, I mean, we just, it's good. It's good work. It's just what you're looking for. And yeah. There's the odometer. It says 71,789 miles wise. The wear on the pedals says that's probably 171. But let's crawl underneath and see some of the banner things. So these are probably the only two real dents on the truck. All right. Under here, got some exhaust. There's some of the oil leakage from up top. It leaks down the back of the motor, onto the transmission, onto the ground. That's oil there, and then there's some trans fluid drips back here. But let's look at this exhaust. We got going back here. You know, you can see it's really well tucked in. Just, just keep going. You got some old school glass packs back here with some remnants of hangers from a prior job, it looks like. And what exhaust work would be complete without a coat hanger or mechanic's wire, but it sure looks like a coat hanger. And that is what holds the exhaust up. And then we get back here. Look at that. That is not even a 1 foot long section of pipe. And it has 4 clamps on it. You can see exhaust leaks here. It's good. I mean, there's an exhaust leak there. It's it's farm truck exhaust, I guess. So, and you can see the tips don't even bother trying to be even. The old rear end looks like an old rear end. But we'll probably touch that up some. Additionally, the drive shaft appears that it's either been rebalanced or made new. But right there, you can see the washers on it. It may have been just cut down. I'm not sure if the 727 is longer or not. There's the gas tank. Don't think we'll have to replace that because, well, it's not going to rust out because it is plastic and you can't find them. So if something happens to it, we're probably doomed. That is part of the transmission crossmember bracing right there, as you can see. You know, there's some nuts missing on one side, and there's definitely movement in the drivetrain. So I'll have to sort that out. I'm not sure whether it's motor mounts or transmission mount, but it kind of hops around a bit. Front bumper is decent. Someone probably hooked a chain to it at some point right there. Overall, though, truck is very good. And let's just put the camera back there and let you listen at it for a minute. Yeah. As you can tell, it sounds like an old farm truck. Oil pressure says she's pretty good inside. 75 psi cold. It does drop down around 50 hot. She runs a little rough, but I don't think it's timed well. So I need to put a timing light on it. But another thing we need to address is the transmission on a Dodge, at least on 904s and 727s. Requires not a kickdown cable, but basically it's a throttle valve cable. And it should be located just above that shifter. But it is not there. The little 3-pin connector is a neutral safety switch. That should have 3 wires hooked to it, which means this truck will start in any gear, no matter what. But the big thing is we need to put a TV cable on it so that we don't burn it up. If you drive a Chrysler without it, and especially if you get in the throttle when it's trying to shift, it will not have enough throttle pressure to hold the clutches, and the clutches will burn themselves up. So we're going to have to address that. Whatever looseness is in this drivetrain, I haven't sorted that out yet. I will share it as I go. And, you know, give it a good cleaning up. And then, what about this exhaust? I got to do something right. I can't leave it that way, I don't think. But let's kind of discuss what the plan is here. All right, so we kind of see the white coming in here and here. Back here, I'm probably going to sand through the gray into the white and make it some kind of two-tone thing, since I've got white there, plus that gray is busted up in really bad shape. Back here, we're going to lower it down a little bit in the rear. I'm not going to slam it because, well, I don't want to. I'm probably going to drop 2 inches in the rear. And on the front, and if I have to, maybe drop it 1 inch in the front. And then, of course, I'm not a big fan of these wheels and tires. There are people that like them. I don't happen to be one of them. The old Ram is going to stay because my kids love him. I'm going to fill these holes. Oh, the roof. A little bit of work to do on the roof, nothing crazy. Probably going to come in with a wire wheel and just provide some insurance here. See, we've got all this seam sealer is busted up, old and rotted. So I'm going to knock that out with a wire wheel and then re-seam seal all this, so we don't get to rusting into the cab. It looks like it wants to, but I think we can save it. Little Bondo, we're going to knock that out, probably fill it with some type of fiberglass reinforced body filler and send it on its way. I may use my pulling tool and pop that out a bit before I do that, but we're not going to go nuts. And as I said, I want to make a hump extension for that shifter to mount on top of, as well as put carpet back in it, because I'm not sure why we don't have carpet to begin with. But let's get a good side view of it. That way, when it's all said and done, if I do it from the same space, we'll get to see before and after in all of its glory. Additionally, I think I said it, those mirrors are going away, and I'm either putting something similar to what those other 4 bolt holes use here, or maybe a sport mirror off C10, but I don't really want to pay for them. So there's that. All in all, that is the new truck. Look forward to sharing it with you. It's not near as much work as what's coming, or what we've gotten to on the Dart. But figured we could introduce it first and show you what is upcoming on the channel, and hopefully some of y'all dig it. The normal things like, comment, subscribe, all those things, and I appreciate you tuning in, and share it with your friends if they're like-minded individuals, or even if they're not and you think you could find some entertaining on it. I mean, it's not often you're going to find craftsmanship out in the wild like this truck has, whether it be the exhaust or the beautiful hood pins, or not everybody can do that kind of work. Yeah, but we'll get on it, and I will share it. I am also going to replace the headlights because they're super dim, but you won't really be able to tell. So I'm going to use an LED fixture thing. So enjoy, and I'll see you next time.